Freedom Island. I really like that if I park right around here in one of these special spots, I can see good what's going on at the Work Release Center outside the building. They got a couple of garage door bays that's opened up, and they've got table saws in there, and they got I don't know, I don't even know anything about equipment, but it's where they're supposed to get trained to do jobs when they get out, so they're learning how to cut with a buzz saw, and I don't know nothing about tools, but that's what they're supposed to be doing. What they're mostly doing is smoking cigarettes and shooting the crap, but let's just pretend like they're working in there and carrying stuff around and everything, and there's a little bit of rattling and banging and sawing now and then and stuff like that. There is people putting stuff in trucks and taking stuff out of trucks and all that. And what I need to be doing is watch and study them real casual. See, I'm getting used to sitting here. I like this space too, because everybody going in and out of the social work area and all that stuff. If they could just get used to seeing me and I'm just regular normal to them, then I seem casual. They get used to seeing me. Don't nobody notice I'm sitting here, and it's going to take me a little while. Even after Yvandra's family goes home and I don't have to be out of the house no more, this is what I came up here to do. I came up here to watch and see and study what they're doing so I can tell what is regular stuff they're supposed to be doing over at the work center and what is really part of their secret Freedom Island project. I feel like I've made a good start on this. I'll tell you what, watching Mission Impossible movies is not enough training to know how to keep good evidence records for what people are doing. Even if I can figure out where people are going or what are they doing, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to write it down like suspicious looking guy is talking to other suspicious looking guy? They're all suspicious looking. They're all criminals, most of them. There's probably a few ones that really are innocent like they say they are, but mostly not. And they're all rough looking, and they're all supposed to be getting trained to do their job, so they're all supposed to be walking around. They're supposed to be free. They didn't break out of nowhere. They're supposed to be working. They're supposed to be carrying stuff around. They're supposed to be putting stuff in a truck. They're supposed to be taking stuff out of a truck. I don't even know how to tell what a suspicious activity is. If they got that pail or something, is that just some patch for asphalt? Or is that some kind of chemicals that they're going to use to blow up a building? How would I know? I can't go up there and pry the lid off of it and look. All I can see is it's heavy. I don't know how much blow things up chemicals weigh, but maybe it weighs the same amount as a bucket of asphalt. Even if I could somehow sneak up there and pick up one bucket and pick up the other bucket, how would I tell? I really thought I would be able to figure this out once I got here and I would know what to do, but I don't. So this is the part where ever since I've been a little kid, what I do is I wait. I know it sounds stupid, but all I can think of to do is go where I'm supposed to go and wait. And you know where this is all from is Sunday school. And I don't know whether I think what I got in Sunday school was accurate information or not. In this one way, sometimes I think, well, they always said God would take care of us and we could pray and He was our rock and our shield and He would, be with us in the shadow of the valley of death and all that stuff. But there's been a lot of bad stuff that's happened to me and happened to my family, to people I care about, and people all around me, and they weren't bad people. and God didn't protect them, or didn't protect them very good anyways. So I don't know. Part of me thinks, no, that wasn't right. But then sometimes there's miracles and things that go okay. And then I think, well, maybe it is more complicated. Maybe there's more to it and I don't understand it. Maybe. When I was real little, I thought that God turned the sun on and off, just like on a whim, just on a whim, I didn't understand the clouds was going over the sun, and I'd be swinging on my swing set in the backyard, and it'd be sunny, and then it wasn't sunny, and then it was sunny, and then it wasn't sunny, and I thought God had a light switch that made the sun go on and off. And that just sometimes, just because he was God and he just wanted to just do something different, he'd just turn it off for a while and then turn it back on. And I always thought, well, does he want us to be grateful for the sun? Does he turn it off so we'll thank him and be happy? Or does he just want to see what we'll do? Or is it just boring being God and he just flips it on and flips it off and flips it on again? Like a kid in school till the teacher makes him go sit down? I didn't really understand about the clouds. And I don't understand now about whether I really believe in God helping people or not. But then there's other times where it was bad or confusing or difficult, and then I just didn't do nothing for a while. I did everything I could do to make it different, and then I didn't do nothing. And then sometimes I could see what to do, or it worked itself out. Sometimes, and then sometimes it didn't. So if it always did that, I would always do that. But it don't always happen. But then it's happened enough times to where, and I don't really know what else I can do right now, because I can't really figure out how to get truth or evidence about what they're doing over at the Work Release Center. I know they're up to no good here. I know that they're misbehaving. And I can see from 3 or 4 blocks away, there's people going around, they're doing stuff up in there, but I can't tell what kind of stuff it is. And how would I ever know? And I don't have no walkie-talkie or, they're just going to think I'm crazy if I try to go to the police and I don't have no evidence. And I came all this way up here, and now I don't know what to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do nothing. And if nothing else, even if it's just a complete failure, at least I helped Evandro. Even if nothing else happened out of this, and all that helped was that I kept his mother and aunt from seeing me and kept him from getting in trouble. Although then I guess when I think about it, if I hadn't come up here, he wouldn't have had that trouble. But who knows, maybe he would have got in some kind of trouble, and maybe me coming. Am I being a crazy person, like what I was talking about a while back about people where they've lost their mind and they're looking in their TV and seeing magical pictures about their life? Am I turning into that now, where I'm thinking what I do is magic, or how I live is changing things or making it part of God's plan or something? I don't know. It's been a long trip to get up here, and it's been a long life to live up till now. I'm just going to do nothing. I got to stay out of the house for a couple days for Evandro anyway till his family goes home. And then maybe I'll just have to go home. Maybe I took on something that's too hard for me. Tell you what, though, I should have thought about this whole bathroom thing more, because I can pee in a cup, but if there's anything else I need to do, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, boy. Great brain. Great planner, huh? Well, doing nothing turned out to be a pretty good plan, and I'm just going to get me a t-shirt, and I'm going to write on it, if you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. and then I'm going to get one for Evandro, and we're going to be a do-nothing team. Because it turns out doing nothing was good. Well, I did do one thing, and that was that it got cold. So I turned on the van engine because I started getting cold, and I thought I had to run the heater a little bit. And I had forgot that I had left the radio on. Earlier, I was playing the radio a little bit because it's lonely and boring sitting out in the van. I had been sitting outside the social service agency, and the problems that people got when you're watching them, it's the same problems every day. I mean, it's different people arguing, and different people getting sick, and different people coming and getting a box of food, and different people coming out and being mad, and crazy people talking to themselves and whatever. It is different people, but it's the same problems every day. So that got boring to watch after a while, and I kind of didn't want to run the radio because I was afraid I would run the battery down. But then I was more worried that I would run my phone down if I tried to listen to anything on that. So I decided I would go ahead and I knew Evandro would worry. That was the thing. Not only did I not want my phone to run down for me, but also if he couldn't get hold of me on my phone, he would be worried. It's not like we're married or something, but we watch after each other. And I knew he would be worried. So I thought, all right, I'll run the van engine a little bit. And then apparently I had left it on. So then when I turned it back on later on, when I was a little bit cold, and I thought, well, I'm just going to run this for a little while. I don't want anybody to come along and be suspicious, because now a lot of things is closed and it's night, and why would this engine be running in this van? But I thought, well, if somebody comes along and tells me I have to move, I've lost my good place. I parked, but at least I got this far, and, I'll just have to do something else. So I turned it on for a little bit. The radio came on. I kind of wanted some music, and the radio had a CD thing. It wasn't like built into the dashboard, but somebody had took a wire extension or something like that, and they had somehow made that where there's like a Walkman type CD player, and they had put that in the glove compartment so you could take it out and put it on the dashboard, and somehow it was wired into the radio some way. But then when I looked through what CDs they had, of course it's a church van, so it's not like I'm against gospel music, but I just that wasn't my thing I wanted to listen to. And then as I was going across the radio, it was doing like that scanning, and then that made it get a lot of places in between stations. So then I thought, no, I should push these buttons. It went from jumping not hardly to great big jumps. So now, and then these songs would start, and I'm used to listening mostly to country music. That's what there is in Indiana, but I do like different other kinds of music. But where I was parked at, I don't know if I just couldn't get any of the good stations, or I haven't listened to the radio for a while. I think maybe that's it. I think at home I just listen to my music I like. I've got tapes and CDs of what I like, and I guess I just had never turned the radio on. But, I don't want to sound like one of them grumpy old people. I don't like the music these days, but I guess maybe I'm just not used to it. I don't know. But anyway, after it hit 3 or 4 these stations, and I didn't like anything, then I thought, all right, I'm going to go back to the scan. It's very tiresome to have to sit there, and while it goes to like some tiny little faint station somewhere or other that I don't even know where it's at, and it's not going to come in good. But it didn't stay there long. It just stayed there like a couple, 3 seconds, and then it would hop to the next thing, and then I have to push a button to make it stop jumping, So, there was religious people on there, and there was people selling things on there, talking and all that stuff. And then I got to area where I was confused about what I was hearing, because I thought at first it was like a talk show where people were calling in, and then it wasn't. I thought, no, it's more of I think I might be getting like somebody's like CB radio, or like the fire department or police department or something, or ambulance or something like that. Must be like their radio channel must be, or like a truck is going through or something, and their radio channel is the same as what the station would be. So I hit stop, the button. I wasn't even really thinking anymore about what I wanted to listen to. I was just kind of curious. And then I realized it was somebody's radio signals, but it wasn't fire department or something. It was like walkie-talkies. And I thought, I believe this is people that is over there in that work center, and they're using walkie-talkies to talk to each other. There ain't nothing else around here. Those walkie-talkies don't go. I mean, it's modern everything now, so maybe walkie-talkies go way more farther, but when we were kids and we would play around with G.I. Joe ones or whatever, there's only so far it'll go, And I thought, that's got to be what this is. This has got to be that I'm hearing people that's inside there, and I'm hearing their voice on their walkie-talkies. They're not saying walkie-talkie Roger over and out stuff. And it didn't make that big noise like, usually that's what I thought a walkie-talkie would do, is make that noise when they're pushing the send and the receive buttons or whatever. But I guess you don't have to push a button to receive, do you? You just push if you're going to send. But anyways, maybe that's the movies, or, we just had crappy ones when we were kids that we played with. I don't know. But anyway, there wasn't too much of that noise. And the voices was going in and out. But I turned the volume up on the radio a little bit. And I actually turned the engine off. It was starting to get warm enough in there anyway. Plus, I couldn't quite hear over the vibration of the engine. And you can turn the key such a way where the radio is on, and you can see your dashboard lights, but the engine's not running. So I did that. So I sat there, and I was trying to creak around these old vinyl seats in this van, squeaks and crumples around and all that. But I tried to hold still, and with the engine off and the volume turned way up, I realized I could hear them. I could hear what they was talking about. And they said something, and then another guy said, yes, that's right. And then the other guy said something. And then, just as clear as a bell, it made my hair stand up on the back of my neck. Out of the radio, in this van full of cinnamon bun wrappers and cold coffee and me, in the dark, I heard a man say over the radio, just as clear as a bell, Freedom Island.